Hey, Nathan here, and welcome back to another Tower Defense Engine tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to discuss the user interface class. We already did part of the user interface individual classes. We have a map region, a wave information area, and a command info bar. Now we're going to combine those into one user interface object. And that's what this class is for, is to combine those three blocks into one class that we can reference. So let's go ahead and build the properties. Public MapRegion get and private set public WaveInformation public get and private set, and then the command info bar. And of course, if you change names, or this is your game, so if you have anything different, you can just do whatever you want here. Get and private set for that property as well. Alright, now we need to have a sprite font object, and we need to add using Microsoft.xna.framework.graphics. We need to add that to the top of our using statements. And we need a sprite font object, a field, and we need to create a property that goes along with that. Public sprite font get return font semicolon set font is equal to value CommandInfoBar.initialize, and we pass it value. Okay, so now the user interface needs to have a reference to the session object. Now, you do not need to have it this way. We can get it by session.singleton, but I find it's a lot easier to have a local reference to the session object instead of calling .singleton all the time. So that's just a field to store the session object, and then we have public mouse. So the mouse we will use in our game is set up in the user interface. Alright, now the first method is the constructor, public user interface. We need to pass it the map region, the wave information, the command info bar, and session S. So the map region is equal to map region, the parameter we have here, and then the wave information property is equal to the wave info object we have above. The command info bar property is equal to the command info bar object. The session object is equal to S. Mouse is equal to new mouse. Session.map.mouse texture. And then session.setUI is this. Alright, now we have two methods left for updating and drawing the user interface. So public void update UI. And anytime we have an update, we need to have game time, and we need to add using Microsoft.xna.framework. Alright, so when we update the user interface, we need to update every single element we have here. So we need to update all of our regions and update our mouse. Let's update the mouse first because all the user interface blocks will take advantage of the mouse. So mouse.update to MapRegion.update game time. WaveInformation.update game time. And CommandInfoBar.update game time. Pretty simple update, we just update each element. Now draw will be similar, but we need to do it the reverse way. We need to draw the mouse last so it's not hidden by any of the other elements. So public void draw UI game time, and then the sprite batch. MapRegion.draw opening parentheses game time, sprite batch, and the font, the sprite font we will use. WaveInformation.draw opening parentheses game time, sprite batch, and font. CommandInfoBar.draw game time, sprite batch, and font. Then we draw the mouse at the very end. Mouse.draw sprite batch. Alright, and it's complaining about this line, and it says there's no overload for the method draw that takes 3 arguments. So let's go ahead and look at that class, and it should take a sprite font at the end. And it looks like we don't. So go into the WaveInformation class, and in the draw method, let's add another parameter for the sprite font. Alright, so go ahead and save the user interface, and we are ready to go. So that was it for this tutorial. The next tutorial, we're going to discuss the monster class.